say ye nipa sabe. Now the best and we were second class human beings because around that time, now United Nations, United Nations 1945 after the Second World War. Now Black Africa country be and count. It is almost bibini bia and count.
Yet UN no. Now African country be and count.
Say yeah, independent countries, sovereign nations.
All right, it's that time, near
near. In 1945, let's just say a country be a Black African, young count, and sir. Internet is a way cry and guasi, my. Internet, you can't wild politics, ye nimubi. Now, and no so in Chirasa, now I might be a wahano, and yenya fan would ye. Now, Liberia, and your fan would ye by 100 years earlier. Ethiopia the obi ani won so eda
obi an konka Ethiopia
dabi on the yan colonize won and Egypt nso no manya won fa ahodie. Now these countries enya won fa ahodie no omu pe won ba bi tnan African some mfa won ho wiasen some mfa won ho omu te won ba bi until Kwame Nkrumah eba he te Nkrumah ba beduru ahasei no onu amu oba no okra Madam Liberty big giant statue where US share ni say so otika mu a share giant statue ni sa no say sa Liberty we say no bi na meko ekwa akoko ho ntokwa ewo mememu eneme continent ya bibi ma nyina obabeduru ha no a wo sha ase say organize ne no ma ni bibi oye bia no opese ye bibi ma nyina. The reason being that abrofo no ho omo edies no te se France omba hwehwe omo aben wa Ivory Coast, Senegal, Gabon, Burkina Faso sa countries ni nyina mu na yade wako France ntuko sua de na wo ba wo beboa ewo colonial administration no nti wo ba bedru ye no o classmates some being the white people with seniors with juniors say Britain and so a scholarship Oxford and now say University of London all the universities over there the wo ba na now who were friends among the colonial administrators Intino say fa hudie na wo hwehwa e de na wo pe fa hudie those days judges ni na ya brofo na bia wo ye lawyer te say dankwa to mo ye wo namfofo mo nyina mo ye freemasons mo to da me bom mo didi bom mo ye bibia bom. Incidentally Nkrumah was the only one who found himself in the US into obedru Ghana no ni classmate bia wo ba bia only classmate and I feel so US university no coin at that time a low class university because when your scholarship or back Harvard movie and the Princeton University movie
and here for the no
and predominantly blacks
and never
all right the advantages a year two the first one was that they were blacks predominantly omu nyina hate abrofo the second advantage and they say Oko America no so aye colony to Britain in the 1770s almost so G1 fa hudie international say wako oman a wako akosua kwan a ye fa so G fa free and the third one is that oman no a wako mu no enyo oman ketwa te se Ghana United States about 55 states just as Africa omuni Africa about the same number of states yes in one kakrebi it is a state means country sa country see buraduonum no ya kan bom na your mind back meanwhile omuji won nanko omuji fa hudi omu otumi so ombachiche omu anyesa
America for
America omuji won fa hudi free Britain won omu hunyansa so omu akambo no omu kambo omu na mo mbe ye super power
Tina a whole continent.
And Omayan one country. And Nkrumah did need to form who say country be a sono. We have the advantage of numbers. Russia a son, a superpower. America son, a superpower. China the same. India the same. To the moment that was so you have a lot of advantages. The Ghana film, I see, and to the Nigerian film, they are told what is the reason? Obin almost 300 million, who population 30 million. Almost 300 million. See, I can't say and talk around 1% is one better. What's what 1%, 10% impo, so better in Jessica. Inti Nkrumah who the background of Iba say Ghana is like one state in the US. Inti Ahesamano. Inti that Africanization policy and unity ne wo nimu. And something he called the African personality. Before no kokotu womu ewo hono. Anyansafo nkwa awomu yusu Marcus Garvey. The philosophy says before you know to me a kabom. And no yeah na dwens and me bam be start sa de no ewa ha na mu nyina nso mabobuame. Inti Nkrumah coming to the political scene, change the history of the world immediately. Said this is Africa coming up. And the friends and I'm so free American or Biden. And now for fun on ya or a bini Malcolm X, a bini Martin Luther King. Into 1957, no declare independence, no invite you on by into time or on money independence speech, no, mpacha ordinary speech. Oh. Na omo enim no say asem na yakwachi omo enim ne say no wa prepare speech a ehye bottom na obeduru ho no when you saw speech no it was like a divine inspiration and no man and he started by thanking everybody, farmers, fishermen, the market women, party members, obia. The second line he came to talk about our country. The next line, he came to talk about the fact that the independence of Ghana would be meaningless unless it was linked up with the liberation of the entire continent of Africa. So he came to talk about Africa.
And before I continue, not just say, boy, Emma and Krumanya, Jane for Frony, a school of Britain.
And near number one, so called school of Britain. And the outlook could also be a okay. And near number one, what was Yamia Nibia as any paternity? Yami Obibia Yami Bia and I said the and then no call baby co prepare to obey in colonial administration, no any classmate whom or near down for a woman. You say the same Britain a dear America for so no more Pamu 1G 1 fan who did not no more by your superpower almost in a way. It me to me Pamu. All right, time or J fan who did any size speech. The conclusion was about the black man, that the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. So speech in and now Martin Luther King a year notes womb and no could deliver the famous I have a dream speech. I will US instantly and my black people civil rights for the first time almost as so motuaba. Wow. So Nkrumah's presence on this planet, you know, as is a BBR. America say I can't say my dad here. And what you know, so 1957 on what independence, 58 in one year All African People's Conference. Bibi men na momra ni ukwa ye be faswa ye beje fa hudie. Okay. Nti baba do 1960 pepe ne yate OAU. Around that time, over 23 countries, no maji won found Africa because of near Kwame Nkrumah about Bebe Guye. So it means he says, I young Nkrumah or Baya, and can be before crown freedom once I'm the name to him. Now, my main country says, United Gold Coast Convention. I can once UGCC. You see, Ghana first started with Aborigines Right Protection Society. It will because of founders, I may say Aborigines Right Protection Society. No, Sabamo, Jacob Wilson say, Munina, a cajon. O Munini entire tail. Now, brofone say, Asasibia. Currently, at that time, no, Omun Fanya, a down. You perceive a crown land, you dish a bias. Now buying a shessel. Now, no, Omutina Hodgen won't open say, Debbie. Emisa brofone nte yaka definition of land in Ghana omontiase na yanya de ne se asase no eye na nanu ma ewu kwa ne dia na omo ete asase su sese no ehwe so e de amanchiri ma ye ba wo ho abadabi nti se ete asase su ne ya mo ho ban na kodi broni nsemu a da bi ya san kwa asamando a anu ye be ne ye kwa because ni wura anum le ho. So it means that in the case of Africans, land has a spiritual significance. I can't say a bosom, a sunsum, and tis a camp, but your car, the son and really at any time to me a fluence, and tis a tari, as I say no, a yamine boy, and then yami 1 for 1 inch cram account be. Until you want nanum, your bottle womba queer, a brew on my jenny, a queer weir, at the 2 miles and a frame and I can't once. I know that's a woman by a cosimbra. Wobako constantly a wolf for no so abetuaso. Usudru anwa dane samai. That's a sana beya with the ana with the wenishe. Near ya wona ba no so bo by. And no na me a quite explain it British Parliament no.
Okay.
Near the boss as no ebai. After that, nature's Aborigines Land Protection Society no more or less are irrelevant.
Okay.
National Congress of British West Africa and also Omo Ba and Chief Macaulay Omo Adrian say the 4 colonies of West Africa, Gambia, Sierra Leone, and then Ghana, Nigeria. I mean, Gold Coast, Ghana, Nigeria. Yantuminka Yahumbo. Na debi sabe kobase fahudia. Niye ina your mind back like federal states.
Okay.
Almost starting a true baby no mu say emwa because of free Ghana before so bedru Nigeria no French colony that time German territory kwa na were middle so also wo hwe benkum so Ivory Coast ne ho ansana wakoto Liberia no wako Sierra Leone
entini ye moshie se ke moshie dia ka be simple
enye te dru baby na say ye jai emaneka then in 1947 no openi Pa Grant businessman and no adwene ye ne say ye the South African businessman be a friend RT Briscoe ebe compete with him rubber no bedua timber no watcha bibia abrofo no compete with him enti and so to mete political party da bi ebenya efa ahodie ne apamu abrofo no ma wo mu akọ na wo mu kọwie na kyese ye ne obi anye competition bia na ebibifo ye ho atoye e wo man we say mu enti what in the party na party no a what ye no incidentally no da bia meka no ba bia no na adwen ne say enam say ni business ewo colony I say mpacho Ghana no ni achichem bebre Gold Coast no asia say na ye mpoano no ye fa ne the colony was made up of Eastern Province and Western Province. Okay. Eastern Province and I know the Eastern region and then Greater Accra region. Okay. And a Western Province here, Central region and Western region here now we are Chemun. Okay. Into any friend the colony. Into the colony na no so near friend the Gold Coast. Real Gold Coast. I know the colony. That time no. That time the real Gold Coast no. I know the colony.
Eastern region, Greater Accra, Central and Western regions.
And a friend the colony in the Gold Coast. Okay. Ashanti na Parliament kura no a wa akra no mu ko parliament na Ashanti nkobi they ruled Ashanti by proclamations but you no amrado omo anu nsa no mo ka kire ahemfo no na omo nso e de aye adwuma until 1946 no na Ashanti mpo nka ye ho what you say na your fancy one northern territories wo mo so enka ho kura na omo aye ne say wo ho eye Ashanti no made up of then Bono Ahafo and Ashanti region will be the food basket for them. Now, Northern Territories, you can nipa no more babe ye juma.
Ashanti and Bono no.
I was Gold Coast colony. Mines and I don't know. I was Northerners so yeah. Southerners and Akuko schools. I want to encourage you on the manual. 1 year until I see a disrimco. Now, what the woman you know become one back parliament and one of my yamera. Woman call for by fighting for them. They will fight for schools like Infante Prim at the saddle and others into not in Yinara. No school be anywhere. Into near our imaginary boundary between the north and the south. Into now, we answer United Gold Coast Convention. No. Ebe ha wo hu se o mudin Ashanti no not ebe ka ho voter so nka ho akwa bibi te say efa German territory and ye de wo mu aba abeka ye ho enti fa hodie no aye ka eho asem no so called founding fathers and so called big six no so omutume je fa hodie no a na nka ye that colony na ye so utu emre se wo kire esie Pa Grant no ye chairman of the party. No, what deputies mienu.
Pa Grant no.
The deputies mienu.
Chairman of
UGCC no. The first deputy, a friend of R.S. Blake. Okay. And later be a Supreme Court judge, my friend Mr. Justice Blake. R.S. Blake. Or your first deputy chairman of UGCC in charge of the Western Province. And the second vice chairman in charge of the Eastern Province. And your JB Dankwa.
Okay.
And if I say JB Dankwa party bia wa Ghana and then on your chairman of party bia wa Ghana had the UGCC no what
but no a vice chairman. The Eastern
second
Province,
vice.
Second vice.
First vice, yeah, RS Blay.
Ah, what the Western, offshore Western.
Western, and a West Shaway.
Okay.
And a Papa Namuno, be a party near Nedia. A party near Nedia. And to almost we General Secretary. And I go Jesse of Finland and Neban, young man do him organization to young Fanamera. They are no buy, I didn't call party headquarters or share woman no mamuno. No, who is more 13 branches in the colony.
Okay.
Na two na ya active. Aya Salt Pond Cape Coast war and a crab branch. And no one no
East Indian Grand Shadang.
Baby, I been baby, I say East Western region, Muno, secondly, we been hot. And Tiabane Sano. In a matter of 2 months, now Nkrumah organized 300 branches. Now, dear, here we were Bufuni said, and Nkrumah de Biko, Ashanti no bonone have for not any vote any baby.
UGCC no.
UGCC
branches no.
Or spread any baby. And a year we Bufunti £100 a month. Also, Midbaman, almost said £25 because a Jumani is so may and Nuna.
And oh
yeah, a first Wakasabi African unity ne. No ma omumpe etie one seminar. Okeka.
Tinaja say Nkrumah will be a no penkabum.
Or penkabum say one or minor ebeka abom. Well, na womu di dankwa sorry womu di grant echino. And na dream papa ni wontirim.
Okay.
Actually say no papa we no grant no. Only enzimeni.
Okay.
And what's in the party. But so washa okaso omun kamom no omunte party no. JB dankwa no kwasesa ne fiefuo bebre ana de ba nti na no hwe big sis na ewo sika no so o say eastern region fo no edoso omuno doso ewo so aha ana make sure say nke oluma no nya well educated one year san 7 na wo ye lawyer ni wo san kuta PhD na nka wo badwena o mani nyina ho eyi no ono dwene tribalism mu say asantefo na form empire be that Ashanti empire. And almost what do you ba mu pe usaduane se nipa no do so aduane no enche enso yedi na the same aduane o the same powers in the beche and na wo kofa esremfo ene aibefo ne asantefo abeka ho ene se enso ye nti the measure so omu nko na Nkrumah ho abufu ni se oba odi gbedamadi na chi ene krobodu se ene wo bia enti tam wotumfo asante yene prempe the second ehu dwuma odie no ana ode Ashanti Youth Association e de beka Kwame Nkrumah supporters no.
Okay.
So they were personally having allegiance to only Kwame Nkrumah. And the Kwame Nkrumah so who say your Committee of Youth Organizations CYO. Our year friend say UGCC. Your youth no more penasam because mpanimfo no ye lawyer for ni businessmen and kasia want to me approach you. Nti Kwame Nkrumah no omunim no. Nti 90 to cut a long story short no. 1949 I can say Nkrumah no ma wo ye na ha adwene nya na ye pam na free party no mo. Na che so okuta two powerful bodies. Omu allegiance to him and to him only. The first one, and the Committee of Youth Associations, CYO, within the UGCC. And Ashanti Youth Association, Prempe, Edemano. It is our committee, we say, no, youthful people, and no Cambo or the Convention People's Party. And one and to a Convention People's Party. Now, my Convention People's Party, a national party. Now, UGCC no for the colony. And to Amukoto about 1951.
That's the United Gold Coast Convention.
It was
for
meant
colony,
for the colony. Okay. Gold Coast.
Okay.
Into 51 election, no, Omulusu Yano. Anna Omugu Convention, Omugu United Gold Coast Convention omugu no nti na says amre no achemfo ne hope no ombi bia ene fancy JB Dankwa
Anokye second vice
UGCC
okay
ana asantefo no ade ya omu ye CPP for to start with asantefo because you see Ghana politics we be say tribalism nim no woboa asantefo no so who say UGCC omo anfa wo wan kan na Nkrumah mom na extend e de abaho no no mo so start ade bi say nzemani asante kra ya ade baako nzema kotoko asante kotoko na achimfo de omo nye yanuanom nti their focus was on Kwame Nkrumah nti what party no omo nyina abedi na chi na
Asante for no or TCPP no
omo nyina abedi na chi that time na arara mponsa any Victor Wusu ya Krobwadu say ana Kwame Sanapoku Jantua any Franklin Adubobi Jantua omo ne prominent Ashantis edinachi then obeye prime minister no 51-52 ana or draw up accelerated development program. I try so my way say obe man so iron it is a first world. Na no ma wodi benye ni sika dia ye nyina will come from cocoa. Because that time we were the world's leading producer of cocoa.
That time no.
Now
maybe before 51-52 no. Zamana UGCC won.
Yaguno.
Now
After
UGCC
51 na yaguno. Ntina besi and Yaguno because it was a party for the colony and now
we don't have colony again
Nkrumah has expanded everything beyond the colony and the white man has been forced to recognize that and so the northern territories and then Ashanti and then Transvolta Togoland have come into the picture, so UGCC becomes completely irrelevant and then the Ashantis will start telling Kwame Nkrumah say na yen yesika na wudisi school e won fante and cry ayibe esrem because Ashanti at that time was one region which was the biggest region made up of Ashanti, metropolitan Ashanti, Ahafo and Bono. Na mu dua cocoa pa. Into omu say omu sika na dey be the rest of the country. Sadia and they will have to make a proposal to Nkrumah. Say increase the price of cocoa now with them farmers. Now Kwame Nkrumah said the moment obey sad and obey affected the program meant for the whole country. Now also we will say bauxite in Asante, the income manganese the income in Asante, diamond the income that didn't know the ocean cocoa no more. Into the negotiations are Nkrumah wo mu ye and says Sadia cocoa farm be and fan a banco school. Na ye way cocoa no. Well, ubetumenya receipt. Akwala bi ubetumenya receipt is all papaye cocoa. Ubenya government scholarship. And Nkrumah catch one say when na babu amamwenya lawyer for ne doctor ne journalist ne bibia. Na me disika ne shamu nsema do you know what you would do? Ba waremba bebre awu bebre gu cocoa na se. Emwa o ma.
Say na cocoa na no betre phone.
Anti na chese emwa ma wo meye so no. Nti omu kwa no me say Nkrumah di atempa o se yenim nyansa. Na se yenim nyansa nka yen yesika na ma Ghana. The world a leading producer of cocoa nti e be kire no. Nti omu buy no omu Nkrumah hot 3 times because they were CPP.
Because of that statement in a film Nkrumah no buy no.
On world market price of cocoa na medi farmers no ho because region bia na I work on so we benefit from it. Now Nkrumah say the country is for everybody. What you say nti ono so one penny. Nti omu kwa no omu say yate ye ho. Mate me ho kem yate ye ho afi CPP. And now say Ajiman Prempe Nkrumah Damfo one man a title or Sajifo. No so after this another title or Tumfo. It was the first time in the history of Ashanti Hinifa title or Tumfo. No so one so mama title or Sajifo. But because of the pressure from his people, now say Oti Party, National Liberation Movement, headed by his own linguist, Bafo Akoto. Akoto.
Ono na oye
head. The one they call the next election, 1954 election. No money for any voter, Ashanti. No, for any voter. They were also invoking history that the days of the Ashanti Empire, the Ewes were their map readers, and 2, anytime they bought guns from the coast, they will give it to the Ewes. No more mold, no more moldibi. No more the amount to woman, no more 1. Until SG Anto, and Asante for be year back home, as the Fosu Nianmani Asante for a Tokodra no more de mount. Through that, no, almost as a so more year back home. Now, unfortunately, initially 54, they went as individuals, and Omu Lucia, to see people. No. And now Kwame Nkrumah colonial administration, say, we don't have any opposition in Ghana because SG Antos Transvolta Togoland Party is fighting to break away from Ghana. So the aim of that party is not for the welfare or the future or development of the country.
I see.
Now you go to Ashanti. Almost the world market price of cocoa. In 10 years, they are fighting for federation. See, in the federal system of government, much of the products from your that state is retained there.
Okay.
Nti anu no mo hwehwe. And a Muslim Association Party, almost Christians and respect to almost respect. So it means they are not thinking about the country. Gosh, if Northern People's Party say Abrafona and Sisi schools were home the schools in the good
about
south.
the southern sector.
And Tiama south of one alcohol school, so many independence in the Bomwa. The going away of the white man will mean they're coming to serve black people, their own brothers.
Okay.
And the Omun
Black man serving another black and to one
the one year. And apart from Convention People's Party, I almost draw support from everywhere. And almost nationally inclined. Parties has a sectorial view. And Tim Nkrumah said, no, we cannot go to independence with this.
There's a selfish interest to be attended.
Okay. And Nkrumah said, this cabinet system of government or your prime minister, I practice over Britain. The leader of the opposition must be capable of becoming the next prime minister.
Okay.
When the government falls.
Okay.
But these people, if you are from Ashanti, you can't be prime minister because we are not thinking about the country based on Nchechiremu Amami. If you are from Ghana, you can't. If you are from Volta, you can't. Only the CPP. So that compelled another election, 1956 election. And that means all the opposition parties will have to come together. I know that me a Cambo, me a friend, United Party.
UP party.
UP tradition.
Okay, you know, all these are not JB Dankwa.
I don't come back because they are so ya pamuno ti baby one can anti United Party no SG Anto can we leading member and SD Dombo Simon Diadon Dombo and Northern People's Party and about for Akoto omu nyina trance ehun say omu nyina educational level training college enduru babia nti sadia yanhwehwe wo bia okuta superior education na one Nkrumah beye ebe mache ni emfa ne mra nti omu di omu ani hwehwe mu no mu ko hu bunani and at that time Bono was part of Ashanti. Professor K.A. Buzia to come and lead them. You understand? So the UP tradition had K. Buzia. And then they drew up a bigger agenda. So after the 56th election, when we had independence, Nkrumah was the prime minister. And then the official opposition led by Buzia. Until that time, not down kwa Henifa. Until not down kwa one can. And the Achims too were not part of the Ashantis. The Achims were not because from the Ashanti time, Ashanti had always thought of subjugating Achim and ruling it completely. And that be answer Achim but no more near day.
Now, Ashanti for Adikachi Achim for us, Mutum that time.
That be one time over the Iowa Nubina, Okwakwa or said to two Kwapanishiwa, Omukum. Okay. So what I say about 300 years ago, or more than the Vaprem, very good that time, Omukum or said to Tuno. And from that time, Ashanti for be defeated in the famous Ahantan War. But every now and then, sa tribe bibia ne Ashanti akuntokwa na Achim akosupport that tribe. Sanya me ombenya wonfa ahudi. Nti Ashanti di won so all right, but omo amfa ne easy. Nti Ashanti ne Achim de omo nka da. Up to politics adankwa na ofiri Achim ahimfie no hu say we don't have to add Ashanti to whatever we are doing. So what you say? Ananze manso nya omunam fofo ene Achim omunam fo ne afansa Asante. Nti Nkrumah ba na opia omuko mbeye one it was okay until the cocoa issue came about. Now that Achim coming into Asante no was as late as 1979. 1979. Third Republic.
That time no your Third Republic. Ya dia fa hodia wiyo.
Ya fa hodia your two Nkrumah 69 your called Second Republic. And the leader was still their leader was K.A. Buzia, who became the prime minister.
Because me share a UGCC. See a form in the 4th August 1947. Now, time because you see what's that echo 78 or 76 right? 79 so that time ne ya je fa hu de da 57 no eti ekoba ne se na 1960
66 coup d'etat and 69 omo hand over adema you know omo ayen say party be a support CPP and chese ya ban CPP ama kwa Nkrumah nipa ogina na K.A. Buzia K.A. Gbedema ono be official opposition
now so am yen say the then UP no Buzia ne free Bono ebe lead party no right
but you can say Asante
yeah can
say Asante
okay,
so that time
now ye di 4th August as for a day to UGCC how relevant is that holiday
and to be on me be any me say 4th August ye dey Aborigines Right Protection Society at that time they were not fighting for the Gold Coast so much
okay
and another 4th August ye dey UGCC no machira mu say enye pa omodeje fa ahudie ama Asante Ayibe ene esirem
okay
omo parochial interest bi
and
now what you now because self government within the Shutters Party what do you mean by that Shutters Party now we could have 2 branches pe okofa general secretary ba na odi obi abeka yes anti pamo
okay
so what you say enti sa anamo na ye 2 year no enya anamo a ye did lay foundation say ye dey pe fa ahudie
the sergeant of the general secretary is supposed to speak didn't start with what Akufo-Addo did. It has been their stock in trade.
Yeah, but you remember how me person we only we that hono no. It's now
69 no.
69.
69 election no. I see people for uncontested bi. Na your friend is an Nkrofo ye the deputy.
Atam ne tunkruma.
Ya tunkruma nti the deputy ano wo ha ke bedema. To no organize CPP for in another form all together. And na wo mu win seat kakra no mu ko for mu opposition. Na numpo no. Papa ne omunim se oba beye the opposition leader our parliament na che say indirectly na Kwame Nkrumah enti obia yaswa ni in no kuta ni seat wo parliament keta or parliament no mu keta no mu aginja omunipa ayefa na Uno Williams say abano yewie mu yaswa ni in ote parliament
no
ama yede no court AJC ni free ni sem ama bode ma betina fie yaji ni city for bet yamfa no ntonche
okay
abetina fie to abetina fie
enti enya ase no ofopen
Every bay
ana 1972 a champion so betu buzia nti anenam so na ye ba be pie 1979 third republic
okay
nti sa third republic no and immediately Nkrumah Nkrofo no Ekambo mu no mute People's National Party.
Okay.
More or less.
That time now you reverse law now.
Very good.
Okay.
Until omete People's National Party,
PNP.
but for PNP for them it was President Nkrumah's party. And now your friend is saying, this Mateme Hufo no, UP no, omuso pa edin bedani PP in 69 Progress Party.
PP.
Progress Party.
UP change bedani PP.
PP Progress Party.
Okay.
Until 79 the 69 na ye Progress Party
okay
79 na so mo fa din foforo na eno kokoye
the same group no
say constitution bi e beba no
okay
mo se said
okay
anti popular baba ye Popular Front Party na before say yes our Popular Front Party no sa tradition ni mo no mumientie ni yes it was the first time achemfo no hwo won sa achemfo ni ntumi nkodwan ni CPP because omu nye CPP for nipa omu di na chi ne dankwa dankwa so ye Nkrumah arch enemy nti omu ntumi nko CPP and they are too small to be recognized
achimfo
no omu na nakura omu do so kwa nya just about 6 constituencies
okay
nti na so omu pa ba bi fa nti omu kodwan ne asantefo no a party no so what you say eyi friend say asante ne esiremfo yi
eti no
nti eso omu kokodwan ne wo omukoko join ni won ewie no ana omu suggest say party ya yeti ehun yin say ye be congress ni ekoyi presidential candidate hwe wo ba no be dictate what is the reason is
eno ye ho no
ya chimabu akokokos
okay
ana omu argument na say Wusha the so-called big six, even though for me in Ghana's history, ni adibi a friend of big six. The only a say one near Awuno Williams, Anna Nanka Bruce, any RS Blay, any your friend say,
Pa
Grant, any JB down Comuna. After 48 riots now. Yashisha mpenifo na chiwo so mu na organize sa demonstration na nam sumi eku yimo say sergeant ajetem na bi mi dwandwane na grant kwa abrochire na omu a wa kra ha immediately yenya ho no And the following day, newspaper report caption was a big six leaders of the UGCC arrested. Now, not just said they were the biggest fishes. No, biggest. The other started from Pagrant.
Not Pagrant,
founder, chairman,
UGCC.
back roller. Didn't see Kakofa Kwame Nkrumah. Ebaye. Other than calling your uncle big six. And I find it say RS Blay, first vice. And Nanka Bruce, and yeah, Williams. But Safon Yenya won. I will know Williams and Nanka Bruce Dodgy. And Grant was out of the country. And RS Blay was in second year. So I say I think Cranford on Sujani. Ain't you know? Kakrana Yenya out of all the leading members and the newspaper report. And or tie and crow forward the Kwame Nkrumah. Instead of recognizing the people who stood on the days to declare independence for Ghana, rather than this recognition now comma the so-called big six. Big six, just newspaper reportage. So what you say?
Newspaper headline.
About that time. I think President Kufuor did the whole nation a big disservice. Say, Wokofasa Uncle Fue di wonti edito or main sikas wabra everywhere in the world. Sikabie niwa from the lowest denomination to the highest. The same people neguso. Assuming they did something for the country, all other people too have done a lot for the country. For the country, in Tinkabia, one city. Now they can some chromadine. That's why be a 2 cities. That's a dampa. Nasa 5 cities. Na yansa tua 10 cities. Na ya Efremamu. Sana konen. I'm saying that this man has done a great disservice to the
President
country.
Kufuor.
Our this are big says. Historically, you know. Bibi said they are called founders and not founders because we don't have anybody called founders. And then let us also understand. Go to the history of every nation. When it comes to the struggle for independence or development, Obia de Nehujim, Nemum, the leader no, Anna Yekase or no founder.
Okay.
Napoleon Bonaparte was just one person. But when he came to lead France, now, almost fighting war, we fighting on any day. So Napoleon won this war. He lost Trafalgar. He lost Waterloo. That doesn't mean he was the only person who went there to fight. He went with thousands of soldiers. So what I say, until U.S. almost fighting for independence, you know, thousands of their soldiers died, but the founder will be George Washington. South Africa, Mandela because of the prison 28 years. But they will call him the founder or the father of the nation. Mahatma Gandhi, just before independence, they shot him. But they didn't give the title to anybody. They call it to him, but the India, Yadima Gandhi. And to be a one day, need 2 or 3 da ebinsi we are see baby adanti yadiano. And they are clear the first person to have founded a national party. I nam so deji ye fa hudie no ma ye national anthem na o ma ye your friend is saying coat of arms not to o my needing or move on from your friend is saying Gold Coast to Ghana na nyo ne Kwame Nkrumah enti one be na founders and the founders adentinanka emon coat or ye coat of arms and a mama no ye flag no Teodosia Oko and a national anthem beho adena umfa womunka founders no. Now, people who rather opposed our independence, you call them founders. Until let's talk about 79.
Okay.
Until Akwaba Anesano, Emma Asantefo, and most northerners, Ekabomu, Ete one party. I found a Popular Front party. And I Chemfuano, and a few allies from other places. Almost so Kabomu, no Muti one party, I found United National Convention. UNC, our symbol here in Sa. Our penny William Oforiata.
Okay.
Ne papa. Enti ya two. Dabi kind of Oforiata papa no.
No offer.
No offer. Ne papa no no be your friends a busy finance minister. Now, enti your friend is saying. Your friend is saying, yes, division no. Ya two abano. Obi anya 50% plus 1. Internet so almost sign quarto beam. Now that UNC people supported the PNP. I'm almost equal to UNC PNP UNC alliance. I'm not chairman here William Oforiata. What you say, Kokodi, PNP for in order to punish the Ashantis for not using him as a presidential candidate and using a younger person, Vito Usu, as a presidential candidate. What you say into a banisano, Emma, it's so easy for Nkrumah's people to win the election.
Okay.
So that was why it ended. Then 31st December, coup, eba ye tu omu fre konyaso. And omu by 1992, and yes, I Fourth Republic.
No.
Then Fourth Republic, the Achim people come in again to realize that they are too small to make an impact. Until so munya obi de wo ebono. Into omu ko join UP tradition ni biom. This time
UP na omu change ye no.
Omo change a Popular Front Party.
Okay.
Who come out dictate ya woman na ukote wo party.
Osamba.
Baby one, they were smart this time and gave them a name. Using this man, Professor Edubuahin, because Rollins time and not curfew 6 o'clock, no be other, no opposition, who Pia Bekun, and on no command speech, be the Ghana Springs, a breaking that culture of silence. Into watch for that people, not the whole nation. Attention, our corners, so your Bema, Edubuahin, Australia. Into Tamwa, UP tradition, Omu Miti, and no, then a cocodomu one, nature, so no so being the historian, you know, say. Okwaini din bi de ma wo our friend Dankwa Buzia Club and they say when we say you be lifted the ban on party politics you nyan lift here
okay
nti omo asha say obi aye ne preparation
okay
even NDC they founded an organization called the Eagle Club
okay
they started political organization
okay
na Kwame Nkrumah Nkrumah so started Kwame Nkrumah Heritage what I say later split into so many Nkrumah's parties.
Okay.
Until you Professor no Edubuahin and no quiny way the ma won and your friend say down qua a kind of say UP for back about join us group no to almost join a group no and I'm saying the most famous person out here against PNDC were Ghana. To call primaries, it wasn't difficult for him to win. He became their presidential candidate.
But maybe what can confirm you know? Was it Dankwa Buzia? Dombo no count on no fear.
Dombo no. One no NLM. Sorry, National Northern People's Party. No. 1 penny. Okay. Our no ne Anto. And your friend is something in a chairman of Bafuakuto. Omu yina do one more than come out Buziano. And from this point, Nanka say Casante Fonqua or history. Neyama ne akwadia history ne adi adwumadia and Nanka say Ashanti North and Ewe tradition.
Okay, Sanka you follow that sequence now.
That sequence na sa nipa me ensa ne kambo mu no mo ti UP no mo kokofa Buzia say ono ya professor nti o meli no se sa na adi ye adwuma dia and Nanka say your friend say down Bafuakuto Dombo and then Anto tradition.
Oh, okay.
It shouldn't be Danko Buzia.
It shouldn't be down. In fact, Inka Dankwa the Ombe Mubi.
Dankwa
because story ya me keen and the Dankwa mo party no go 51.
Yeah.
What you say?
Because who can me tietie me the name to me trimbat. Me take Dankwa
there be on count. On count and Santifano so and you know for reasons, two main reasons. The first one, Makasa UGCC no. At the time of UGCC, so many CPP call Econo. Now Santifo is CPP for.
Okay.
And no Dankwano or UGCC.
Okay.
The second reason is that the next time Santifo come to a kubium or more free Nkrumah and China. Now UGCC Dankwan Kawo and Momo for Buzia.
And I didn't buy.
Then the other reason, crown underlying everything is Asante for Achim for so yomu but they would rather prefer the West and the Northerners and even in Zimmers, but not Achim people. And Achim also have proved to be smarter than all the groups in the country because with just about 6 or 7 constituencies as we have today, they are smart enough to know, say, if you isolate yourself, you will be insignificant. In Tipobina, now the one the Ashanti Metropolitan, Ashanti alone has 47 constituencies.
Yeah.
Ahafo, the whole of Ahafo is also Ashanti, 6 constituencies. New Jabe North and South, 2 there. Then Kwawu North, Kwawu South, and then East, we have 3 there. And then go to Asen, what you say, where Ashanti influences. Then go to some part of Oti, and then even Budinda Bono itself.
Asante has
big influence.
Kwawu
Asante 100%. Kwawus are not like Achems who are a distinct tribal group. No.
Okay.
Kwawu is Ashanti, like Ahafu.
Okay.
It's Ashanti.
Except
that they are in a different region.
Yeah.
Like Bono Ahafu. People thought the Ahafo people were part of the bonus. No. Ahafos have always been Ashantis and they serve the Goldings too. And
there were those who were doing cocoa.
all of them today, all the time cocoa.
But Rollins can be. Me both will be a man.
Underestimated. The NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it, I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen.
I love Radio Gold 90.5.
The nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are happy with. And they will be there for a long time. Let's not mimic their behavior. Let us reach into the principles and the values that emerged out of the circumstances that gave birth to us. And if we can hold onto those principles and those values, we will move way into the future and no one can ever defeat us.
That statement by Rollins, which was saying, was the NPP cannot be underestimated. They've been changing their names and not some more can we confirm it or narration or maybe I was starting free bar no more PUP young court na there.
No, Sansi, they cannot be underestimated.
Yeah.
That's the word to be underlined.
Underestimated.
And say
that's the underlined word.
Even Nkrumah could not underestimate them. Yes, because it is founded on the strength of possibly the biggest region in the country in terms of population. And it has become their tradition, their everything. Oh, say in the case of Nkrumah himself, because he hailed from a small place, Western region, in Zuma area, the seats there, Wakamboma can never be a tradition for the CPP. And then Rollins himself is also from Volta region, also a small area. There is not much impact they can make. But in the case of the NPP, they are very lucky. So it is built on the very essence of Ashanti itself. At any time, they will always form the biggest opposition.
Because
so we cannot underestimate them.
The then 10 regions, the then 10 regions. We need 2 regions. At the winning national elections that Nkrumah. They've won only 2 regions. That is Eastern region and Ashanti region. How many are winning? Okay, so we'll be
79 the same.
79
they say apart from Ashanti, almost everywhere. Almost the second, I realize that they are the major opposition parties. Almost Kambo and come back to winning. All because you see, Ashanti alone out of 275 constituencies. This is one region. Omukuta 47 constituencies. And their sister region, I create a man, 6. Half 6. And a new job in North and South. Koforudia. They are 100% Ashanti. Ashanti Fona, Ntokwani into Omukogu.
In the Eastern region.
Eastern region.
And the new job is okay job in
what do you see? All job in. And I say to 2 Munekwa Himon Tokwano, Denchira Fon Tokwano. Omuko cha kwa weti intimida karitina gold na account no man farmer santifo
okay
and yes so no mo so mo farmer nti punishment e dey ma wonu no mo free ho begu ba dey mo say and ombegu so ancha no mo patch up kama nti they are 100% Ashanti so mo som otumfo
asen for them
asen too has always been part of Ashanti
asen for no
asen na was central has always been part of Ashanti
so was central no
and so your friend is Kwawu so they were in Ashanti Mampo. Professor Jumambedu Akosa had wanted to become Oman of
Kwawu.
Meanwhile, he's from Mampong because they are one people.
Now, about send the Kawusu ne Asante break here because if they are of the same people, then they see Emma the Kawusu break here beka be pon so one.
One more day
and now my jama then see
a small thing. Oh, say during the days of the Ashanti Empire, they always felt that they had to fight in order to sustain the empire.
Okay.
And this group of people, no. Awomu adwene ye won say see enya abotre na yetenase na yadwene ho dodo ye rather than always going to fight. If you go with 1,000 men, you won't come back with 1,000 men. To all those who think like us, momi yankope ye ba bi ntena and the entena strategic place Asante somase ya me friend kwa ye ntumi nko ontumi nduru ha.
You ask the confone no mo pasumdwe
nto omuko gu people no so no se yasoma nipa se yankofa wo mra no mu roll stones against the messengers nti wo bi abesoma yeso ho a wo kwede wo kwa ko na be yasa but they are one people. I mean, all Kwawusa Ashantis.
I see.
And he said, Rollins Asamokan, it was based on history. Say, when you talk of Ashanti, they are so huge, which can, to a very high extent, can even mean voter region. If you are going deep into history, they are always together. Always. You go to Kumasi, there's a place called Angunaga. Made up of Ewes, meanwhile, you can't find that anywhere else.
But even Oko voter region, OT region, is a Yati OT near OT na kwakwe Akan speaking region or area.
And not even Angola itself, Numpo. First, and many people don't know, they think somewhere Togo for but they have always been part of Ghana.
Okay.
And the Angola have always been Ashanti allies.
Wow.
Because Ashanti was trying to make incursions into the Oyo Empire. And it was the Voltarians who were helping them. In Nigeria, they wanted to bring them under Ashanti. And it was the Ewes doing all this. They have always been one people. Then Ashantis don't hide the fact that they were marrying women from Angola area because color, no?
Yeah, Kokono.
Fair because we are predominantly black.
And dark.
So the Fofrope. The Ashantis don't hide away from distance. And they are women who were marrying from the north in order to get more children very quickly because their men were dying all the time because of the constant and continuous wars.
Not just talk about Africa.
Bebre to omone and then predominantly NDC omufi so mo atamfo ne Asantefo no rather no mo traditional relationship more than Asante and Achim. Asante and Achim have never been one.
I see.
But Asante and Ewe have always been one. In fact, this Ewe town Peki. Mampong for the Bechi Pechi in the Mampong.
Peki in the voter region.
And the Kumasi for now on that Bekwai Road, Pechi number 1, number 2. Ayomuna Chichire.
Wow.
And now if we are in Chobedu Kovefan Wusuta. And we are Mampong Suta for now a Chichire. Into Omo ya want is how that area. Uba se chidin bebre. Tinya politics and Kayana nipa baako. Put it that way. Take away politics we are one. And indeed the chiefs have always protected that.
Okay.
As for the chiefs, because on Hinibia Transe on Nimina Bakwa some say maybe where ye way mami. And the Achims don't want that Achimabakwa people don't want that one to come out. But when it comes out, it will be exposed that their enemies are the Ashantis. So they always want people to think that Yeni Asante because we speak one language in it. Ye nipa ba kunamo bono for the omu before and cram for it's not that is not the history.
I see.
That is not it. Until when no Edi one yansa be ya dankwa buzia
dombo no
dombo de yifrim na just a gukura
na dombo na gu
a good dombo
but and yami atiase said the NPP tradition, you know, see 3 pillars so. Dana yami atiase.
Some can about camera and say. Enti say no the 4th Republic no. The Achim people have forced the Ashantis. Omunye omajun so mbesu abakwasem no we mo twiste abakwasem.
Achim for na twiste abakwasem.
Abakwasem afọ stay on the Ashantis wo mo atiase say ye ka UP tradition na yan na mo. Nti mo no mo pani no yedi ni din to so na ni buzia yanso ye pani ene dankwa. So now up to this point, it will be a OTM BN Nanka Dankwa and count because Achimfo and count. They were not part of UGCC, they were not part of CPP, and even 79, they caused the UP tradition to lose. And instead of being punished, they now come in again to say that we are brothers. And the Omundi Sunday ya Olusu ye, Professor Dubois, you know. And in a mua a baby PA, for time. In fact, Nanke, Kwame Pianim de Bewini, okay, hands down. And you're disqualified, and now Kufuor will take you over. Na yet is us anti-mine you Kwame Pianim or Kufuor, but you're the leading members of the party, no be a fight to be. Obia Asante no mo do so wom Safodu Dr. Safodu nyina what you say nti no mu ni sa adwene Safodu his campaign manager was Major Kwasiga nti na sa adwene ni wontirim beda achibobu akwa people pe ba bi agina nti eso mu create bibi no mu di gina so nti when the Kufuor left sananka ya traditional nka automatically tradition say ne MPPC aduru dombofuo no so a ane nanka Buzia di ne dia 69 ana your friend is say Akufo-Addo no ba no danko nka ho ni nipa no professor no Aduboahin no ba be standing na nko nkosi ba bia nti nanka ono so Aduboahin ba UP 92 MPP 92 na Olusu ye nti nanka onam so ye akan nti no wo de ne be kan Asantefo no okay nti nkeduru Kufuor tamodi ne de awie no na che Asantefo no successively omu na abasa atwifo no nti nanka esa Kufuor de man running mate Aliyu Mahama so that it will mean that from Ashanti to the north then we are following tradition
and can ebedu Akufo-Addo so
kan ru ho
follow
tradition there. Aliyu Mahama never. But Ashantis they didn't have that idea. They felt that we are talking about our country and that tradition is gone. But you need a tradition in order to have a constituency, to have a base. But when it comes to leadership, the moment we have the base, anybody can come into the fold, like NDC now or CPP. They don't say you are from here or there, or you are related to Rollins, so it should be this or that.
Yeah, because Ofa NDC since 92, Omanya leader from the Volta region, Omanya leader from the Akan Central region,
and now in the north.
Yeah, and Omanya leader from the northern region. Obia TBDB.
Ana we mono nanka Asantefo ni tirimu say obia obetuma stand no based on your own individual capability no yamfama. Ana achemfo no atuma ya de won tradition no e dia beka ho nti say omu hu say amfollow ne omu hwehwa no a omba wayato. Etisisi ya Kufuor edi ne de ewie ye no. Kufuor ede ne support obi enim Ghana ha. He wanted Papa Owusu Ankoma from Western region.
Papa Owusu Ankoma.
As an hunterman to lead MPP.
Etina nye Alan Kashimpo.
Papa Owusu Ankoma. From there to Professor Frimpong Boateng. Or testi omi eni who say Mbwa. And Frimpong Boateng is from Seshi.
Okay.
Anna Owusu Ankoma is from a hunter. So what you say? Intina sa adweno trabala adweno eni Kufuor tim tradition bi eni ni tim. Ana anye ye no the support kokoma Alan Martin. Ana omu kwai na nam say still tradition eni wontin bibia eni ho no. Edru tie na say ono ne ko run off no. He decided to let the one who had led, and the one who had led on top was Akufo-Addo. Into one ko into a quiet chile no na whether it was right or wrong, the Ashanti people were not thinking about any tradition. Now when mono kokoduru wo wie ya eso no so free e ho no anya na ye tradition dia then you created the Dankwa Buzia and kicked out the Dombo. So if the Ashantis have left and then that is Buzia has gone and then Dankwa has come and is going, then you should go back to
the
Ashanti people. No umpe chamateasem no pesa santini bia ebeba eno simpacho ade no free tetina ni say ya miensa nti say no aduru dombofuo so
I see
aduru dombofuo so
you see how smart the man say
yeah o say the achims one block no so e wan ppm so they've been smart all this while. Yeah. It's that smartness, no, and they keep them up to date.
To twat everything to their favor.
A true domo for so until one domo no why. One only man prisi ni ba. Baumia. Meanwhile, no, the original Dombo no crano. Mampusi, I need the Gomba for no one come. Dombo was a Dagati man. Why Dagatini?
Dombo Dagati
powers into a free northern region. It is a do one so then you can the only thing is that o man penny nipa no any nipa. Nti na say yeah you create story bia na ejitum nti in fact me nan fofo aye asante for lawyers doctors which wonu wo mu yom say ha de no hu e tradition wo hu say e buzi edi ye di atoto asesa ya ha dombofo na say edi dombofo no so and he thinks it's a dombo. I know me patch say they think that when you say dombo it means that no. I don't know they are chim for debris so. But it's a idea. Finance minister we born no humadi. And the whole world born abaso Tesania Dr. Kwabena Dufo mo JJ international prizes in India. Enke odebema no ko hwe ba umi bia. Anka
odebema kenofuriata.
I think odebema easily. No I can't kira wo say na say president Kofo ne time primary presidential premises send the chiriba account win yanke yamfa no nti we so mesi menu aketewa finance minister the whole world obi ase wa yade obeka one ade na ko de ma no obi hu say wanye adwuma ni ye nti wuntumi mfa ma nti sade a yamfa ma obi obe protect your interest. It's as simple as that. Na tradition there that we don't have it is not built, the argument is not built on any tradition.
All right, Anokye Frimpong anything mama na me homra and yesu ade papa to da bia ye be kon say ya purely education and ye call Dr. Ibrahim Zubairu so Hanum doc. Good afternoon. Afon god and then ye utimi say ya ko ya chi
I am meeting pa a lot of things now things now wakani na in fact I was so happy
mama twa homra
cobra
Mafuya meya. You say hepatitis. Me to ase. Me siremu. Asa why be na ekiki me. Emuya meya.
Sciatica. Any bone fracture no. You do Power Specialist Herbal Hospital. Dr. Kosia Dua ya betrete.
Sciatica. Entimi. Any bone fracture. Nompemu yare. Power Specialist Herbal Hospital. Ebe show me wahu.
Entemu kura. One must specialize wasa area ropa. Yare ba konso ne saye omombre pa hepatitis B, stroke, diabetes. Akumamu yare ahoro, typhoid, awo, dunso mu yare. Ni nyina Power Specialist Herbal Hospital. Koko, wadi abef mfidie be hwehwe mu yie. Ansa na wadi omu nduro na nanam no akam. Accra, Kwabenya, ACP Road. Wasi Power Bus Stop wo ho a. Kumase, Ofeyiase, wani Josbro, filling station de hwe num. Ena takra de so Anaji Estates, Customs Road. Ghana ha ba bi obi a wo bia mfre 0244 54 44 22 and 0200 38 38 31.
Power Specialist Herbal Hospital.
Hepatitis B, ayaresa fia
nkasa. Feature great inspirational speeches and quotes from African leaders.
Long live fellow freedom fighters, comrades and friends. Long live African freedom fighters.
Welcome to the Great African Leadership Series, where we feature great inspirational speeches and quotes from African leaders.
Fellow freedom fighters, comrades and friends, long live African freedom fighters. Long live African independence. Long live your struggle. And long live African unity. Support. Here is a phenomenon against which all African freedom fighters must be on their guard and resist to the utmost. Even though I appreciate the difficulties facing us, I must admit, I find it strange to watch some of us returning willingly to the colonialist fold.
The NPP cannot be underestimated. You know it, I know it. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are Listen. Munjir, the nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are happy with, and they will be there for a long time.